And we're here. I'm going to
Yes.
hide voting.
This one.
Yeah. And now just switch back to PowerPoint now. No, you have 5 minutes or 7 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope I'll be enough. Yeah. So, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Oleksandra, and today I'm going to talk about the MolTrack. So this is an open source, hackable, enterprise-ready chemical registration system that we've developed. And probably today I'm going to stand like near this mic, since you won't hear me in another way. So maybe many of you have this cool question, why do we really need another registration system, and do we really need it? So, and the answer is pretty short. Yes, we definitely do it. So what we do have out there regarding the chemical registration system, we do have some commercial offerings. So they are quite powerful and polished, which is good, but they come with some limitations. So basically, it would be hard to.
More.
I can, but I don't think that they will hear me.
Yeah, like this.
Like this.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, let's probably start from a little beginning. So, and talk about what do we have there in registration system. So we do have some commercial offerings, and they are quite powerful, and they are polished, which is really nice and really good, and everyone likes it. But unfortunately, they do come with some limitations, and these limitations are that they are quite difficult to customize, and they can be expensive, and I'm not sure they will be affordable to some small labs or academia. So this is the one point of view. And on the other side, we do have public open source light-based systems, such as LWREC. Basically, that was a great starting point that we've been looking at. So it was self-hosted and hackable, basically what everyone really needs here. So, but still, there were some space for improvement. So there are academic labs, there are small biotechs, there are organizations with legacy tools, there are groups that look into exploring new modalities, and probably they would like to have something in between. They would like to have a flexible.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. You're sharing this via Zoom, not the actual presentation.
Sorry, I shared the wrong screen on Zoom.
Just go to the Spotify settings.
Yeah.
And okay, slideshow.
Yeah. All right.
Is that okay? You can go just from this?
Yeah, I will go just from this. So yeah, we wanted to come up with some solutions that would be in between. So it to have been flexible, lightweight, and of course, open source. Of course, we inspired by the LWREC, and we decided to take it from there. So, and come up with some combination of accessibility that taken from the open source, and some features that people actually expect from the commercial software. So there's going to be some like 50-50 in between that we're going to do. So, and this is where the MolTrack comes in. So what actually MolTrack is, when we've been designing it, we were thinking about a solution that would be fast. So it could process quite fast the large data sets, which is important, open source, which I already talked about, hackable, but enterprise ready. We'll have some scalable database with chemical intelligence, will allow to register not only the compounds, but compounds, batches, some assay data, will allow to support dynamic properties registration, and also will be able to manage complex searches with aggregations and so on. So this is pretty complex. So, and now we will just talk about each of these points in some details, probably not for all of them, we'll need that much details. So the open source stuff. So we made MolTrack completely open, so you can use it under the MIT license. So, and as it's written in the slide, it's free as in beer. So, and also is the main important thing is that it's easily customizable. So you can just look under the hood, you can modify the codes, you can even come up with some suggestions or improve it on your own, just whatever fits. So, and also quite an interesting fact, so we've already growing, there is already growing behind us. So we already have some contributors outside of the data grok that already contributed to the MolTrack. And I think that's important saying that because it shows that we are growing to the right direction. So we already have some other people that are working on the MolTrack as an open source. The second one thing that is pretty important to consider is database foundation. So as you see from the slide, Postgres is what we had chosen. So basically it's quite reliable. So, and comes with several flavors. So reliable transactions, scalability, data integrity. So it allows to fast search across the data, and so on and so forth. And in addition, there are some options for cloud management. As you see, there are some services like AWS RDS that come up with out-of-the-box security stuff, backups, and scaling. And one of my favorite, basically, slides is that we wanted to create a hackable system with and be enterprise ready. So we started talking about hackable like a few slides before. So when I talk about the MIT license, that it is free to use under the MIT license, but what do we have else here? So we've built MolTrack with the Python plugin system. We've already talked today about how many people use Python. So, and we thought that a lot of people should use Python. And this is a language they basically can use to work with our registration system. So it would be easily customizable for those that are working on database basis with Python. So also it's built with events and webhooks. It can be easily integrated, and it has modular architecture. So I don't think that it would be hard to jump right into it. So, but as I've said, we wanted not only a hackable solution, we wanted to have an enterprise-ready solution. And what do we mean by enterprise-ready solutions is that having such features like authentication, some roles, permissions, privileges, audit trails, and so on and so forth. So basically, it would be quite ambitious saying that we already have all of that. This is our initial release, but we are our way. And we definitely one day or another going to have all of it, but now we have only a part of it. So, and basically what the slide means is that you may start small and get it up just running for your lab in minutes, or you probably can use it as a backbone for the enterprise solution. So both going to fit, and it's nice that it's going to fit both use cases. So let's talk a little bit about numbers and about the benchmarks. So everyone understands how important the speed is in our reality. So nobody wants to go and wait for days or weeks until something gets to their database. So and here I'm just sharing some numbers that we've measured by loading Campbell data that contains of different number of compounds. So here you see that it's pretty fast. So for instance, we have 1,000 compounds registered in 3 seconds, 10,000 compounds in under 30 seconds. So that's probably fine. And we also see that, for instance, for 1 million compounds, we do have like 4 milliseconds per compound, which is also quite great. So it doesn't take that much time. Of course, there is a room for improvement, and that is not the final optimized solution. It's already quite optimized, but we know how to make it even better. So it's going to be like X10 optimized a little bit later. So, but it's really already cool now. So, and it can be usable without no doubt. So which options do we provide? So you can run the MolTrack several options. So the first one is CLI tool. So basically, CLI just provides the full access to the MolTrack API capabilities so that you can just grab it and put it into your own workflows. So as you wish. But there are maybe some people that don't like CLI tools, and they would definitely benefit from the a web user interface. So, and here, thankfully, that we are built on top of the fast API, we do have the cool capabilities of auto-generated OpenAP Swagger pages. So if you are not a huge fan of CLI tools, so you can definitely take a look at the MolTrack OpenAPI page and use it. So it's pretty useful and I really like it. Probably I like it more than CLI tool, but everyone has like their own opinions. And the most important slide here, I guess, everyone knows that the heart of registration system is basically chemistry, and we had to talk about it. So now we utilize RDKit toolkit for cleaning up data, for molecule standardization, deduplication, validation, sketching, and so on. In addition, we are not only leveraging the RDKit toolkit, we also use Postgres RDKit cartridge to perform structure searches, basically substructure, singularity, hash searches. So, and that is really important for our system to have it. Yes. Also, one important thing that I wanted to tell is that our system is quite a configurable one. So, for instance, let's take an example like molecule standardization rules. So we do have some defaults in our database settings, but you can manage it on your own. If you want some other standardization rules that you want to be applied, you can just go update the rule and you can use it. So the main point of the MolTrack is actually that it is suitable for different needs. So you can go, you can extend it, you can update it based on your needs. So that is an important point. Comment that I wanted to make here. Also, we do have a pretty key feature, key component is our schema. So it contains structured metadata for compounds, batches, and SC data. So you may see on the right the screenshot with some properties that have been registered with the MolTrack. So you see it from the CLI tool, actually. So there are some properties that are registered for the compounds, batches, assay, and so on. So basically, this is quite a good system to do it this way because it allows you to extend the system with the new properties that you want to have. So you don't need to just once pull out some static properties and go with that. No, you can expand it anytime you want. You just take it, you specify the entity type, you specify the name, and you're ready to go with it. You have it, and you don't need to wait for something. In addition, I like that we made some validation rules. We made some patterns so that we can get the real data and not just something that we don't want to have. So it's already validated, it's already in the right place. So, yep. After we do have our schema, our properties registered, probably we would like to cover the registration process that we do have in the MolTrack. So basically here you do see that we do have several types of input. So now it's only CSV and SDF, but of course we're gonna evolve over the time. So this is just the starting point so that we definitely should cover. So you can both send like single elements or just a lot of compounds, whatever you want. So this is the first step. We just identifying our data. The next step is the mapping. So out of the box, we do the auto mapping. So if the file has some columns with the names that properties in the database have, we just link them together. So, and no need for your effort. So that's principally pretty a good solution because you don't need to put any effort in this, and it's kind of error prone here. But if you want to come up with your custom mapping, you know that you know better than we do, that's fine, that's totally fine. You can come up with your custom mapping, you can pick it up, and it will work the same way. So, but I would really advise you to take a great look at what you are sending to the system. And the next step is validation. So there may occur such situations when there will be an invalid entity, and what do we want to do next? So basically, there are two options: whether we are just rejecting the whole upload, so we just not processing other stuff. So we found this invalid entity and we say goodbye. So nothing gonna be registered at all. And the next one, we just won't be registering invalid. So we will just go register valid, but if there will be invalid, we will say, okay, we don't register invalid, but we don't just mess the whole data there. So right now we do have kind of a strict thing done. So, and we have this reject all strategy. So in case you have one invalid, the whole upload goes away and not processed, but you of course can customize it on your needs. So if you want to reject only invalid, you just pick it up and you go with it. So that is pretty much the whole information regarding how the registration works. So one more thing that I wanted to say here is that we allow and support now to register compounds, batches, and SE data. So probably for someone that is going to be useful. Okay, so we went a little bit further than just creating an open source solution and open source registration system, and we integrated it with the Datagrok. So why with Datagrok? Datagrok is actually a Swiss Army knife for analytics data so that you can use. So, and also it provides like first-class cheminformatics and bioinformatics support, and it's really cool. You know, it feels really natural to plug in there the MolTrack and to have all these visualization capabilities in place. So visualization capabilities, all these analytics tools that the Datagrok provides. So let's just imagine we can go and have a chemical space, activity cliffs, diversity searches, whatever we want. In addition, we can run Admetica predictions, for instance, boids, retrosynthesis, I don't know, docking, whatever you want. We do have a lot there in place. So, and it really feels that natural to use it via the Datagrok. So, but okay, now probably it would be nice to show you our integration and how we did it. So I will talk about single registration tabs, about bulk registration tabs, and searches actually. So single registration, sometimes we have a situation when we just want to register like one compound, and that's it. So you've seen that now on the left, we do have the sketcher. You can draw or copy paste something manually. And on the right, we do have our form where we already have the properties that are related to the compound entity type, so that nobody just didn't mess up with the properties, okay? So we do have validation in place. So while you sketch it, while you write it, everything is validated in real time, so you don't mess up with your data at all. So in case you have malform structure, you just have it there on the screen. If you have an invalid identifier, invalid value, you have it in the tooltips, you understand it, and everything is right. But once you have the good example, you press register and you get the corporate compound ID or corporate batch ID and the URL, which you can actually copy paste and send to your colleague or whoever you want to send it, and they can just access it the same way as you are. So this is pretty cool, I think, because you just like boom, boom, you register it. Here's the compound, corporate compound ID. You just get the link, and oh wow, you already can work with some data. So that's a pretty powerful tool, and I actually think that it won't even give you a chance to pass through the validation. So this is an important one, because sometimes people are just put in some data and they don't understand whether it's right or it's not. So validation is a key point here too. So, but sometimes, of course, we don't want to send data one by one and one by one. So, and we don't want to take advantage of our bulk registration. And here is the bulk registration tab that we've made. So actually how it works pretty similar to what I've been talking on the registration slide. So basically, you just drag and drop your data set, or you can just open it from your workspace. It's easy, you have it in place. Then, as I've told, we do auto mapping on our own. So on the left, you can just see that we auto mapped properties that existed in the database to the source column that came from the data sets that from the files that we uploaded. So of course, we do have validations there as well. So because there are some different severity of errors, basically, so it can be warning, it can be just a huge error that won't give us process. So here I'm showing that basically we have warnings for the MolTrack, for instance, there were like empty values. Yeah, you're gonna see it, that it contains empty values, but that is not critical. But in case we're gonna change and the type will mismatch, so I guess it's quite critical. So you have a string and you are just want to register an integer. So guys, something is definitely wrong with you. So, and we don't want you to register it at all. So, but in case everything is fine, you just register it, you get this successful message, you get your corporate compound IDs in place, and you also can just search by them in the future or whatever you want. So, the next thing is search. So we hadn't talked about search that much. We only talked that, yes, we do have this RDKit cartridge with a Postgres in place. But now it's time to look at some visualizations. So we do have such a cool query builder, which allows you to construct some complex queries, some nested queries. And also in this example, we've been showing that it actually works with a RDKit cartridge. So you can do substructures, similarity searches, and hash searches. So you just don't need just to trust me. You can see it in action. So here is the substructure is done. So, and in addition, you see that this is data graph capability. When you search, you see how everything is updated. So you just get everything in real time, like bam, bam, bam. So I just want to do this. I search, I get the results. I can see my diversity search. I can see the scatter plot. I can see all of it. And you can see even more because we do have a lot of chemical instruments, cheminformatics instruments in there. So what search also gives us, except for the nested queries, also you can specify the output, what you actually want to get. So because sometimes you don't need all this bunch of data and you want to get just one thing from it. So you can just select it, put probably some aggregations if you want to have some summary. So it's pretty easy, I think. And in addition, the cool one feature is that you basically can save and share your queries. So it somehow resembles maybe you of the previous slides where we can also save the compound and get the URL and paste it. So this is the same concept. You can save the query. You can then get it, upload it once again, just to not miss what you've been doing all this time. So yeah, let's just watch the game once again. I hope you liked it. Yeah, let's move on. So of course, we already did a lot. We've already spent like more than several months on building the whole open source solution and building the integration. But we are quite ambitious people and we have a lot of plans. So as you may see, we're gonna want to synchronize with commercial registration systems. We basically had it in our plans before, and I thought that we're going to do it, but unfortunately we didn't have time for this. But we're going to do it next time, and probably next RDKit we're going to show you this. So who knows? We want to do some multi-user improvements. So now our system can work just with one user, but of course, it's not that scalable. So basically, you want to have groups, you want to have roles, you want to have privileges, just to make it ready for the enterprise stuff. So we also want to do the monomer management, mixtures, some computations and predictions. That is also quite ambitious, but I hope that maybe with the help of community, we're going to make it together even quicker. So if anyone is interested, I think that we will definitely benefit from any help, any support. So yes. So, and of course, we do want to do some acknowledgements. So we would like to thank the Educate community for the fantastic toolkit and specifically their authors. And in addition, I would also thank for the LWREC registration system. I've read your articles like probably 10 times on it. So I find it pretty useful. And of course, we've been inspired and started doing the MolTrack integration after reading, after just studying it, searching it. So yes, we will just say that we already have some contributors. I've already said that. We're not gonna say who was our contributors, but you can see just some names on the screen. So from the data group, it's basically me and some are the people that were really helpful. So probably we'll hear from them once again. And from the other company, we also have people that helped us a lot with integration, and probably one day your name will be here too. So if you decide to come up and build the registration system together with us, I hope one day that's going to happen. So yeah, thank you for the attention. So I hope you liked the talk.
So thanks, Oleksandra. So does anyone have a question about the talk? Yeah, Dragos. I will bring you the microphone.
What on earth do you mean by hackable? Is this a special request by user Xi Jinping to access all those corporate databases for free?
You know, probably sometimes you don't want to wait for something and you can just grab the code and you can do whatever you want with it. So that's hackable. You can just take it and you can work with it. If you're a Python developer, why not? So you can just take it, you understand everything that is happening there. It's not that hard. So you can take it and probably develop something of your own. Probably you don't like our concept and you want to go deeper like we did. We were inspired with LWREC. Maybe you will inspired with a MolTrack. Take it and start from there building your own system. So that's hackable. We've already called it open. So let it go like another synonym to the open hackable.
So more questions, Greg?
So you mentioned validation of the structures coming in. How are you doing that? Is that using LW reg code or is that pieces that you wrote as well for the validation?
No, that's pieces that we didn't use actually LWREC for that. We just made the validation itself. So
Maybe in the microphone.
Oh.
So to make it hear.
Yeah, so we made the validation itself. We were just using RGKit tool and not reusing LWREC concept.
What are the pieces that you use for validation? What are the rules? Or are they configurable?
The rules, as I have said, the rules are configurable, but not, they're configurable for standardization and for uniqueness. So we do have hashes as you have had. So, and you can configure which hash level do you want to have. So by default, there is all layers, but you can check out automatization and so on and so forth. So this is configurable, as well as standardization stuff. But if something had happened on the way, like when we've tried to get inches, small blockers, and whatever, this is just done in the code and it's not configurable, of course. Yes.
Thank you.
So one more question.
When you take just a random batch of molecules from somewhere and you try to input it, how many of them would, let's say, pass validation? How many of them no?
When we talk about pass validation, which actually strategy do we want to take? So I've been talking about reject all and reject invalid. So just to understand, so for instance, I took like 100 compounds and the first one was invalid. Reject all strategy will just fail.
So if you have any of the compounds which cannot be validated, that it will reject everything.
But I think so. We actually had some tests on such data, and I think that we have like two sort of data been registered successfully. So, and it's fine.
Thanks. So more questions? We have time for maybe one or two still? No? So if not, then let's thank again.